Okay, so we're fixing to do 4.10, but before we do 4.10, I want to work two problems on 4.9 because y'all have a quiz on that tomorrow. Okay? So here's the first problem. Remember, this is just on 4.9. This is what your quiz will be like tomorrow. Alright? So here's the first one. Okay? Now, here's the rules of this game. It's a test. It's a 50-point test. It's a major grade. Okay? It's either going to help you or it's going to hurt you. Okay? Alright, so here we go. The rules of this game is, I don't want you talking. I just want you to do the problem. If you can't do it, then just sit there. Alright, so here's your first one. Okay, first one we're going to come to together. Okay, so I'm going to get you going. Alright. So, now, how do I know that this is not one of those that I'm supposed to draw the parabola and shade either inside or outside? It doesn't have a Y. Y'all, if it doesn't have a Y, you're not graphing a parabola and shading inside or outside and making it solid or dotted. Does everybody understand that? Okay, we talked about that Friday and how we're to be able to tell that. Alright, so, all we need to do this one is to find my x-intercepts, right? So we're going to try and factor it. Okay? Spencer looks at it and he says, whoa, wait a minute. I don't care if you take the negative out and it's a plus sign or you leave it in and it's a minus sign. The factors of 5 won't add nor subtract to make 3. You understand what I'm saying? So what is that telling me right there? What do I have to do? Quadratic formula. Y'all listen to me. If your careless mistakes are killing you, I try to teach you ways to keep them from doing that. I told you to write down A, B, and C. What's A? What's B? And what's C? Okay, and we're going to use the quadratic formula. X is equal to, there was a negative void, that's negative 3. Plus or minus, you went to a radical party where it's kind of iffy. And there was square root. Y'all just going to square it. 3 squared is what? 9. Okay? Listen to me. I think if I see this one more time, I'm going to scream. We're in 10th or 11th grade, people. If you square a negative, what do you have to do to it? Put it in parentheses. Y'all, I see that all the time. Stop doing that. Okay? Stop writing it that way. That is not the same thing as this. Okay? If this is what you mean, then write it this way. Okay, minus 4 times A is negative 1, times C is negative 5, all over 2 times A is negative 1. Okay, so negative 3 plus or minus. Let's do this under here. 9. What do 3 negatives make? A negative. 4 times 5 is what? Oh. What's 9 minus 20? Negative 11. So what's my discriminant? Negative 11. Negative 11 is my discriminant. And what does it tell me about my roots? They're imaginary. So where is that thing going to cross the x-axis? It's not, people. If it has imaginary roots, there are no imaginary roots on the x-axis. Okay? Now listen to me. This is part of that 4.8 worksheet, right? It has imaginary roots. How does it open? It opens down. Where is its vertex? Below the x-axis. So it looks something like this. Y'all agree with that? Okay? Now what told me all that? That's all that stuff about the discriminant that we learned. The discriminant, which is the number under the radical, is negative. That makes imaginary roots. Imaginary roots never cross the x-axis. And if it opens down, its vertex has to be below the x-axis. Now, here's my question. When is this parabola going to be greater than 0? Never. So what's my solution? Doesn't that make sense? What? This is 0. This is 0. Above it is greater than 0, and below it is less than 0.
Okay, so the formula will never fill the requirement. Just write it as a null set.
That's right. And here's what it's saying, Spencer. It says, Spencer, man, you can pick any number in the world that you wanted to, and you would plug it in. You will never, ever get a number that's greater than or equal to 0. Never going to happen. Okay? Now, here's my question. Let's pretend for a minute. Everybody understand we answered the problem? Everybody with that? Okay, so now we're going to pretend for a second. What if that had been a... What's that? What does that mean? That's what? What? What's my answer, people? What are the x's that I can choose? All real numbers. So, any x such that x is an element of the real, or what does it look like in interval notation? Negative infinity to positive infinity. Set and interval notation. Set and interval notation. Okay? I know on my notes I didn't, but I probably worked those problems really quickly in 1 year, and I never went back.
So if it's a null set, then it's negative infinity, positive infinity.
No. If it's a null set, it's a null set. There are no solutions.
Okay, so instead of doing interval and set,
It would just be empty set. There's nothing there.
it would just be two empty braces.
You could use this. This means empty set. You could use this. So what is that? An empty set. Okay. No. Not right. Okay. See these two things. Empty set, null set. Empty set, null set. Okay. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
All right. So I just want you to understand about these two right here. Everybody got it?
Null set for both?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, it's not proper.
Yes, it is. No set. Empty set. Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you a problem, and I want you to work this problem. I'm not doing it with you, okay? So I want you to do it all by yourself. Don't talk to anybody. Just get to work. Give me 3 minutes. Okay, so here's the thing. As soon as you see this x squared minus 6x, your brain is screaming at you to do this, right? That's not what you're supposed to be dealing with. What's the very first thing you're supposed to look at and see? When you're factoring, guys, what's the first thing you're supposed to ask yourself?
Multiples of the numbers, so x and x is
Can I what? Oh, it's hearing. What's the problem? Can I take anything out? Guys, that's the very first question you're supposed to ask yourself. So then you look at this right here and you say, hey, can I take anything out? What can you take out? An x. What do you multiply x by to get x squared? What do you multiply x by to get negative 6x? Is that two factors? Yeah. Here's one and here's the other. That's going to equal to 0. And solve for x. All right, keep going. Keep going.
I just added the 0.
Which one was easier?
Actually, the quadratic wasn't that bad.
People, was that hard? Did that take very long at all?
But it'll
Okay.
still work with the quadratic.
Always works with quadratic.
Okay, that's
That's the cool thing about quadratic. Always works. I know. Well, we all do it. We all do it. That's what we're trying to work on too. It's all about learning.
I have a question.
Yep.
When we get to steps tomorrow, and we just let you know quadratic formula, and you don't like factoring, is that okay?
That's fine with me. I don't care. As long as you show me your work. You will not have a calculator tomorrow on the test. That's the only thing.
Can we have a prehistoric?
Look, people, we're in PreAP Algebra 2, and you're telling me you don't know how to add, subtract, multiply, divide.
But there won't be any, like, over the top numbers, like, you don't have the square of, like, 47,000.
I would hope not. But I don't know, because I didn't do it with the quadratic formula, unless I had to. Unless it was the only way to do it. All right, y'all got it? Okay, so what do we do? 0 and what? Positive 6. Those are my x-intercepts, so we mark them off, right? 0 and positive 6. What's the next thing you're supposed to look at? Which way the parabola opens? Which way does it open? Up or down? Up. Positive x squared, so it opens up. Okay? Now, here's where you have to make your decision. Y'all listen to me. You're choosing between two things. You either want the tail, which are these two little end pieces, or you want the hump. Okay? I mean, that's it. That's the choices. The hump or the tail. Which part of the parabola is less than 0? Okay. So this is the part of the parabola. Now listen to my question. Where are the x's that give me that part of the parabola? Are they in between the numbers or on the outside of the numbers? Very good. Does everybody know why?
Yes.
If you don't know why, would you like to know why? Okay. So when I say where are the x's that give me this part of the parabola, I'm asking, this x gives me this y. Do you agree with that? This x gives me this y. 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 See what I'm saying? These x's in between give you this part of the parabola. The x's that are out here, look, this x right here, it gives you that y. This x right here gives you this y. The x's on the outside give you the tail. Okay? So where are the x's that give you this hump? They're in between here. Do they include the 0 and 6 or exclude them? Why?
That's not equal to.
Not less than or equal to, it's just less than. So my answer, here it is, guys. It's all the x's between 0 and 6. So put your x between them. I always point my arrows to the left, and that way I can put the smallest number here and the largest number here. Y'all, that is set notation without the frill. Okay? And yes, you guys put the frill. No, I'm not looking at this. This is what I'm looking at. Okay? These two things. What does that look like in interval notation? What's the smallest number x can be? Exclusive or inclusive? All the way to inclusive or exclusive? Very good.
Why would you like say everything that's why would you say
Because he's the only part that's less than 0. Less than is below and greater than is above. Okay?
from the intercept, do you put anything around it, like really?
Over here?
Yeah.
No, I don't care anything about that. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to take this opportunity to, I did this last class period because I have someone in there that looks at their book a lot, and so they said the book didn't teach it that way. And I said, no, they didn't. I think the way the book teaches it is more difficult than this way, but I'm going to show it to you. So I showed it to you, and then more of the kids, it made them appreciate this way more. Okay, so I'm going to do it to you too. All right, so here's what happens. You still do the same thing where you find those x-intercepts. And what those x-intercepts do is they divide my number line up into 3 parts. You see it? To the left is 0, in the middle, and to the right. I want to know what are the parts that are less than 0. What kind of numbers are less than 0? Negative. So I want to know what makes a negative answer. So here's the way you do it, guys. You test it. Okay, it's kind of like test drive a car. See if you like it. Pick me a number that's less than 0. I don't care. -1. It doesn't matter what number you pick, guys. People pick -1,273.478. It doesn't matter. Okay? I like Spencer's -1 because it's easy for me. I plug it back in here. What's -1 squared? So that's 1. Minus. What's -6 times -1? Positive 6. What's 1 plus 6? Is that positive or negative? Alright, pick me a number in between 0 and 6. 1. Alright, what's 1 squared? Minus. What's 6 times 1? What's 1 minus 6? What kind of 5? -5. So this is negative. You agree? Let's catch one over here. What about 7? What's 7 squared? What's 6 times 7? What's 49 minus 42? 7. So that's positive. Guys, where are your answers negative? That's the way you do it. Okay? Now, which one's less work? This one right here is kind of less work, people.
I mean, if you...
How many? Yeah, you can. But y'all listen to me. Do you see there are 3 different places that you can make what? Careless mistake. Okay? 3 different places that you can make careless mistake. Alright? So I like this way. It's really easy. Anybody got a question? No? Okay, so let's do 4.10. I'm through with that. You have a test over that tomorrow. A 50-point test, okay? So, here we go, 4.10.
My dad believes I'm going to get the on test.
It depends on where you look at it. If you look at it on the computer, it says that.
I just told him I got it.
But if you look at it on the phone, on the app, it makes everything. Okay, so this is 4.10. Everybody get out your favorite color pen, star this, and we're going to write it 3 times. Why am I making you write it 3 times? So you'll remember it. Some of you hard-headed people, you'll need to write it 10 to 20 times, depending on how hard that little head is. All right. You must find a first. You must find a first. No, you're going to write it 3 times. You know why? Because I have 4 classes, and I've written it 12 times by the end of the day, and I already know it. You must find A first.
When did algorithm?
Okay, so what's the first thing we're going to do, guys? Very good. Catch up, Spencer. All right, so we're going to find A first. Now, come on. Okay, so, we're going to do it, just today, we're going to do two different ways. First of all, we're going to do vertex form. Now, somebody tell me what vertex form is.
X minus H parentheses squared
Quantity squared.
plus K.
Very good. Okay? Now, here's what I like. Guys, when are you going to use vertex form?
Find vertex.
When you're given a vertex and one other point. A vertex and one other point. Okay? Oh, somebody's been working on the ratio. Okay, the other one we're going to look at is intercept form. What does intercept form look like? Very good. Okay? Y is equal to A times X minus B times X minus Q. Now, guess when you're going to use intercept form? When you're given the X intercept and one other point. Okay? Now there is another way, but we're going to do that Wednesday. Okay? Or we'll do it tomorrow. We can do it tomorrow and then you can have Wednesday to review it. Alright. So, I love the way this is not sneaky, right? Are you going to be confused as to whether to use the intercept form or the vertex form? No, people. If they give you the vertex, guess what you're going to use? Vertex form, okay? Alright, so, let's see what it's talking about. No? Okay? Alright, here we go. Alright, I'm going to tell you that we have a parabola and his vertex is 1, -2. And I'm telling you that that's his vertex. Okay? Now, how many parabolas have a vertex of 1, -2? A bunch of them. Y'all agree with that? Like an infinite amount. You could have a parabola that's really, really wide, or maybe one that's not quite so wide. You could just have your average parabola. You could have one that's very narrow. Or what else could you do? That's right. You could flip all those things upside down. So could I find the equation of the parabola that goes through here? No, I could find an equation of a whole bunch of them that did. Okay? But what happens if I give you one other point? Now, how many parabolas have this as a vertex and go through this one point right here? Only one. Okay? And that's where it is. So this point right here is what? 3, 2. Okay. So, what are we going to do first? Thank you very much. We are going to find A first. Okay? Y'all, that's the most commonly missed thing. Kids forget to find A first. Anytime they say, write the equation of a parabola that whatever, The first thing you gotta do is find A, okay? Kind of like this one. Okay? Alright, so, what formula am I going to use? So y is equal to a times x minus h quantity squared plus k. Okay? Now I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to label these. What's this called? H. What's this called? What's this? X and y. And now I'm just going to plug them all in. What's y? It's equal to, what's A?
Unknown.
Yeah, that's A. We don't know it. If we knew it, we wouldn't be working this hard. Okay? What's X?
3 minus 1 squared.
3 minus H is 1, quantity squared. What's K? So minus 2. Okay, what's the first thing you have to do?
Find out.
Yeah, but right now, it's right
You have to work like that.
Yeah, you got to follow word of operation. What's 3 minus 1? What's 2 squared? So 2 is equal to A4. That looks crazy, doesn't it?
I like it.
What is that?
4A.
Yeah, y'all, that's 4A. Don't write it like that. That makes your brain go, what? What is that? And then you want to put a little sign in between there, and it's not what it is. Multiplication is community. We write 4A. And then minus 2. I'm solving for A, so tell me what to do. Add 2. Perfect. So now I get 4 is equal to 4A. So what's A? Very good. So now can I write my equation? Yes. What's the only thing I'm going to leave in my equation? Y and X. Very good. X and Y. So Y is equal to, what's A? Do I have to write it there? But I'm going to, because then when I look back over my test to check it, or my paper, what does that one tell me? I found it. Okay, if I don't write it there, then I go, uh-oh, wait a minute, I forgot to find A, I just made up the equation, and then you have to look back through your stuff. And we all know how neat everybody is. Okay, try to figure out if you did it. So, 1 times, what's next? X minus 1 squared. Perfect. And there's my equation. Okay? Could I check it? How? Plug it in the calculator. Where are you plugging it in? Y equals. Tell me what you're looking for. Is this point, is that point on my T-chart? And where should this be? Since it opens up, what's that point going to be called? A what? You won't find the vertex? A minimum. Okay? It's going to be called a minimum. Alright? Because he opens up. So this point's going to be your T-chart, and that point's going to be your minimum. If that checks out, you're good to go. Okay? Here's yours. You ready? Alright. Right? The quadratic. So it has a vertex. -2, 3, and passes through -4, -1.
Did you make that up?
Last when? When did you have this on the test? Oh, yeah, we have.
Are you with like, what's the formula of gravel that has to be this point? It doesn't have to be a vertex.
I'm going to show you another way we do that. All right, let's go. We got about 2 minutes. let's label these points. What's this point? X and Y. What's this point? H and K. My equation, y is equal to a times x minus h, quantity squared, plus k. What's y? Is equal to a times what's x? Minus a negative 2 is going to be what? Plus 2. Plus 2. Very good. This one right here. Quantity squared, and k is plus 3, right? Okay, what do you have to do first, guys? Yeah, but you got to do in parentheses, because we're already finding a. What's negative 4 plus 2? Okay. Guys, what's negative 2 squared? Okay, I had somebody this morning say negative 4. Why? Because they used their calculator, and they did this. People, I don't know why you use your calculator, whatever. 4a plus 3. Now what am I going to do? What's negative 1 minus 3? Is equal to 4a, so what's a? Negative 1. All right. So my equation, y is equal to x plus 2 plus 3. Perfect. Okay? Now, you can check it. Okay? You can check it, but this time my vertex would not be a minimum, it would be a maximum. Very good, because it opens down. Awesome job. Awesome, awesome. All right, anybody got a question? I'm sorry, what? Well, it's just crazy. I don't know why somebody...
Well, you feel like it gets so worked up.
Well, because on the discriminant, what's going to happen to you when you do it? It's going to mess you up. Right? And that's going to be, I mean, I've already told you there's like 3 or 4 questions like that on the test, the big test, when you start to write. So that's going to make you miss those. All right, you see what I'm saying? You got to be careful. Is A ever 0?
Because then there wouldn't be an X squared.
That's right. It wouldn't be a problem. Okay?
So it would be
Okay.
negative.
That's exactly right.
So
Because
all
remember what the A
variables
comes from.
is 0.
Remember this. Is that A the same as this A right here? Yeah, it is. It is, guys. That A is telling you the same thing. He is the exact same A. Okay? All right. Let's do the next one. The next one's going to be vertex form, all right? Okay, so I'm going to give you a picture. Yeah, intercept, sorry.
Yeah, that's
What did I say? Okay, sorry. Okay. Is this our vertex? How do you know? Yeah, y'all listen to me. Where would a vertex be with respect to these x-intercepts? Smack in the middle. Not just anywhere in between, right? But right in the middle. Does everybody understand that? Yes? Okay, so these too far over to the right. It's going to be right here. Everybody see it? Alright, so intercept form. Y is equal to A times X minus P times X minus Q. Okay? What's this number right here? What's this number right here? Alright, now let's label them all. What's this? With respect to my formula up here. P. Would it matter if I called him Q? Why? Commutative property of multiplication. That wouldn't make any difference. Okay? What's this one going to be? Q. If I call this one P, that one's going to be Q. What's this going to be? X and Y. Okay? What's the first thing you have to find? A. Gotta find A first, guys. What's Y? Equals A times, what's X? Minus a negative 1 becomes what? Very good. And then what's X again? Minus 4. Alright, we gotta do it in the parentheses. Y'all agree with that? What's 3 plus 1? What's 3 minus 4? What's 4 times negative 1? So negative 4A equal to 2. What am I going to do? And what is A?
A is equal to negative 1.
Very good. Now I'm going to write my equation. What is the only variable left in my equation? Y and X. Okay? So Y is equal to, what's A? Times, perfect, times, very good. And there's my equation. Now listen to me. What if I asked you to put that, what if I asked you to put that in standard form? Could you do that? X squared plus BX plus C. What would you do if I asked you to put that in standard form? I just spoil this and then what? Multiply everything by negative 1/2. Is that hard? Okay, here's yours to try. Write a quadratic with x-intercept of -4 and 0, and passing through the point shall I make it hard? No. -3, -4.5. Oh!
It's not gonna be
It's not going to be that bad, guys.
On the other side.
That's right.
Wait, are we gonna have something on the video?
Yeah. Yeah, big test tomorrow. Big test is Thursday, Friday.
Test period.
Big test. But it's a 100-point test.
the average.
No. One affects the grade more than the other. Yeah.
51 tests in there.
I love how you said both.
But it can't help you as well either.
Oh yeah, I got it.
It's not worth as many points.
Do we have to write it in decimal?
You can. I gave you a decimal. You're welcome to give me one.
No. Oh wait, yeah.
I think, yeah, I would. I was looking at my phone. Actually,
I'm just gonna add here. Think about this. That's weird. How they
shall I get that? What's -3 plus 4? 1. What's -3 minus 0? What's -3 times 1? Now I'm going to divide by -3.
Here, is this the same? If
One of those accidentally two wrongs made a right. Okay, so is this an acceptable answer?
No.
People, if you write that, I'm going to count it wrong. Why?
There's a decimal in a
A
fraction.
decimal within a fraction. Very good. So either divide it out on your calculator, okay, or turn it into a fraction. I don't care. Either way, it's positive, right? 1.5 or 3/2. So my equation, y is equal to 1.5 times x plus 4 times x minus 0. Another way you might have written it, here's probably the way the answer would be written. Please tell me that you will recognize these two factors are the same. Okay? All right, anybody got a question? Okay. Stop.
Here we are.